Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Tundatula's Virtual Safaris. We got a slightly earlier start this morning, no lazing about for us. But this primarily because I got woken up by the sound of roaring lions at about 4 o'clock. Well, in fairness, woke Monique up and she woke me up. Ran outside, heard them roaring not far from camp, just on the western side. So that's going to be our mission for the first part of the morning, see if we can have some luck tracking down the lions. There were actually two groups, like one male on this side and maybe a couple to our south. But let's go see if we can have as much luck as we had yesterday. Enjoy! In my dream last night, just in case, I had lion tracks in my dream crossing north over here. So let's go see if we can find them. So, my dream was only about 200 meters off because here are the lion tracks. Tracks for a single male lion crossing north up the road here. Should have left the handbrake on, that's why the car's squeaking. But let's go have a look, because that is the direction the roars were coming from. Yet again, we've stopped to look at some impalas, and the camera lady, Brittany, has spotted a lion just ahead.
There he is.
Right, so that was a relatively quick track and find. Found very much in the area that he was roaring. This is one of our Naru males. He is the one that we've been referring to in the blog that has the injured, or had the injured back right leg. He's made an incredible recovery. As you can see, he's looking in very, very good condition. When he walked, you might have noticed, still with a little bit of a limp, but compared to what he was 2-3 months ago, it is a remarkable turnaround. And yeah, growing in size and stature by the day. That was the sound that woke us up this morning. A lot more impressive when you're sitting only about 10 meters away from the cat making it. The reason they do that, manifold. Primarily two though. One is for advertising their territory. Very far carrying call that humans can pick up between 5 and 8 kilometers away depending on conditions, and other lions, you can imagine, well over 10 kilometers away are going to hear that and know that this area is being occupied by dominant males. The other, and I think likely the more the reason for him doing it now, is a contact call, trying to get hold of in contact with his brothers. If they hear it and they are in the area, they would make their way towards where he's calling, or even potentially respond, let him know where they are. But as it stands now, there has been no response just yet, so we'll still a little bit longer and see if anybody comes. We're about to make an approach on Ntombi's den site again. There are some quite fresh tracks for her heading in this direction, so really fingers crossed that she is with the cubs and that they are out and about. We'll see now. So we're back at the den now, and as you can see, the two of the cubs are hidden nice and safely in the same crack that they were lying in yesterday. And Tombi sadly is not around. Her tracks have come here, so she has visited during the night, but she's obviously left them to go hunting again. Because Mom is not around, we're going to leave these cubs in peace and keep on trying, but they are looking incredibly relaxed. We drove up here, they even opened their eyes to acknowledge us, which is an incredibly positive sign for the future of our chances of getting to watch these cubs grow up. So yeah, we will wait until Mom is in attendance, but for now, let's leave them be. Turning into quite a fruitful morning. Nice male lion roaring leopard cubs, and now a beautiful herd of elephants gathered out in the Shorolumi riverbed. It's going to be a recurring theme over our coming weeks of virtual safaris, but with the natural pans drying up now, one of the best sources of water is to be found in this riverbed. And again, it's not at the surface, but about a foot below. These elephants, the matriarchs, are going to know exactly which part of the riverbeds to come and dig in, and they're going to head to that and start digging. Some tiny little babies that you might even be able to see there amongst the legs of the moms. Fantastic. Look how small that little baby is. So we've managed to get a little bit closer to this herd of elephants now, and as you can see, what we're saying, how they've gone and dug these holes in the riverbed. It looks a little bit deeper than the foot that I said. This cow closest to us, she's wrist deep in there. But you can also interestingly see how each kind of close family unit within this herd has gathered around their own hole. Each mom will have dug it, and then her calves are waiting their turn. They're very possessive over these little water diggings, and typically the youngsters will only get a chance to drink once mom has had her share. She'll actively barge them away should they try and encroach on her space. The tiny little guy, though, the only thing he's going to be drinking is milk. At the age of probably only a couple of weeks old, got almost no control over the trunk, and going to be trying to lift his mouth up to drink from mom's teat, as you can see now. Morning of baby things continues, this time with two tiny little three-banded plover chicks running around in the water. This is one of the few places where the groundwater is actually touching the surface of the Shorolumi. So they're going to be playing host to a whole lot of small invertebrates, and that's what waders like these three-banded plovers go for. Just a little bit surprised to see such tiny chicks being so confident. Pulled up here, they haven't even flinched at our presence and are running around doing their thing. Mom's being the one that's a little bit more hesitant at the back. But super tiny and super cute. So we are stopped to watch buffalo. He's just back there. And this girl came onto the scene. She's busy stalking some impala, we think, a little bit ahead. Raisin bushes all full of leaves. Plenty of cover for the lionesses to be stalking. The zebras prefer being out in open grasslands where they can use their sense of sight. That's their most acute sense, detecting danger. So even though it's daylight, the lions have a chance, admittedly. the best of times, they're probably only successful about 1 out of 5 attempts, but yeah, conditions might work in their favour now. So we're just waiting now. The lioness has disappeared into the thickets in front of us. You can see a lone zebra, it looks like, grazing off to our right. Her behaviour suggests that she's potentially hunting with another lioness, setting up an ambush. So we're just going to sit it out and see what happens. So it appears as though it was an unsuccessful hunt. The zebras seem to have gotten wind of the lions. No alarm calls, they just bolted off. She's now getting up and wandering off too. We'll see shortly whether she was hunting alone or if there were other pride members in the vicinity. But it's late in the morning. I mean, we're 10 to 9 now. It's unusual to see lions active and hunting at this time of day. So I'm sure much like the male who nodded off a little earlier this morning, it's not going to be long before these girls retire to the shade. So another successful morning comes to an end. We're going to be heading back to camp now for a well-deserved breakfast. Hope you've enjoyed another episode of Tandatula's Virtual Safaris, and be sure to check back again soon for the next adventure that we're going to have. Thanks, Brooke, for being my spotter and camera woman today. Cheers.